Alright, good morning guys. It's been a while since I have done any type of live drive thingy mabobber. I guess it's not really live because I pre-recorded. But let's talk about some stuff. So let's go right in. Kaboom stuff with the serial barcode label, whatever on it. There's always been some form of way to tell specific inserts and specific product. This goes all the way back to the early 2000s. Any type of boxes that have a minimum amount of cards in it. You know, some of those boxes you get that are very expensive, that if you have a booklet, obviously it's going to weigh more. It's going to be thicker if it's a pack. There's always been a way. The serial number on the front of the box has to always mean something. I've always said that in the past videos, that it correlates. I mean, it's to the point that when we would go to retail to get boxes, we would try and pick out boxes with different serial numbers on that didn't really match up to the code of the rest of the boxes. And I think we've done good over time with that scenario. So, and we never really paid attention to actually writing them down to figuring out the code. I think we were just more enamored with the fact of trying to get something. And, you know, this has been around. The thing is now is, who's going to be your dirty guys? Who's going to be your dirty dealers, let's say, that are going to obviously be like, listen, here's the Kaboom, I'll take this one. The rest of these, yeah, there may be something good in it still, but the main thing I'm looking for that I know I can kind of got a cheat sheet on, I'm going to grab. And that's normal, because if I told you, here's a map, there's where buried treasure is, but don't go, you got to find it by accident. You know you're not. You're going to go get it. That's no different. So, that's also part of human nature, I think, or a psyche. So in those situations, you know, you're going to really have to trust the guys. There's guys that don't care. They really don't. They want you to pull good stuff. At the end of the day, that's all they want you to do. They're probably going to not show serial numbers, but if you see somebody breaking a full case and they never hit a Kaboom, well, you know where the Kaboom went. It wasn't, oh, this case must have been messed up. That's not going to fly anymore. It's either going to have it or not. So there's no more blame the manufacturer on certain things like that. It's definitely going to be blame the breaker at that point, because they pulled it. But and same thing with me. If I'm at the store and I see them and any code at this point, how do we know that code doesn't translate to other products for a number sequence, or that other product has a number sequence, which I'm sure it does. But I've always said that they know where a lot of product is, or there's a way to tell certain product at least, not everything obviously, but key hits, especially in high-end product, they've had to be able to track it. Those boxes are serial numbered, like delivered serial numbers too, with a completely different sticker and stuff. So they know exactly what's in it, especially hand-packed product. There's a group of guys that has a sheet somewhere, maybe on the computer, maybe not if they're smart, and it tells them what's in there, and it's easy to feed somebody a loaded case, or at least something with something good in it. But I don't. That's a great marketing scheme. Like, why would I be upset with that? If I was doing it, I'd be like, how can I make it appear that this is the hot product, that it's just delivering bangers nonstop? People are going to buy into it. That's what they do. It's marketing. We got to understand, as a hobby, at the end of the day, somebody in the backside is making this stuff laughing at us. They're just laughing at us. They're like, these idiots, they just buy all these cards. We put a serial number on it, and we change the foil paper, and they go bananas and pay big money for it. You know, they don't care. To them, it's sports cards. It's a piece of paper. You know, they don't really care. Even the memorabilia now is not really real game used, or even game worn, or sometimes event worn. They've even gotten away from event worn. So what does that tell you? But, you know, pay attention to the back of it. The other day I was looking at a card at one of the shows, and on the front it said game used. On the back said not game used, not game worn, not from any specific event. This was a one-of-one patch card. On the front said game used, on the back said completely different. So they're misleading people to begin with, and we're letting them get away with this. Yes, it's still a one-of-one. Yes, it still has value. Yes, it was a nice card. But at the end of the day, if you're going to deliver something that nice in a high-end product, it better be game used. And the other thing is, game worn just means they might have tried it on and took it off. A lot of sports players have multiple jerseys to choose from prior to the game starting. That second jersey, even though he puts it on and takes it off, you know, before the game starts, they consider that game worn, not game used. And that's a very misleading terminology, and I really wish they would clean that up moving forward. or make some type of specific rule, and it's going to have to come from the outside because the manufacturers aren't going to do it more than likely unless they want to be like, hey, trust what we give you. And at the end of the day, how do we know it's all truly game used or game worn? You know, back in the early 2000s, they would show a picture on the back of certain like Donruss and Leaf products of the jersey that they cut up. Like, this is the jersey that this part came from. You know, and if something had a stain on it and somebody had that jersey, you can match it. That was really legitimate, because we always constantly look in this hobby for validation. And I think that's where hopefully fanatics can step in and create validation. The next thing up is going to be shows. The hobby itself, what's going on with it right now. I did not get to go to the Seminole show this past weekend. Again, that's usually a smaller show. The show prior to that, the Tampa show at the Shriners location, was slow. I did see people buying things, but it was definitely slow. The bodies in the room on Friday, I went in there on Saturday before, when I hear it wasn't like overly crazy as well. Like, there's just, we're in the natural slow period of our hobby anyway. You know, baseball is ending, football is mid-tier, basketball is just starting up, you know, and it's just that time frame that we're in right now where it's naturally slow no matter what. All the stuff that's going to be selling right now are going to be either Christmas gifts or brand new product that's sealed for Christmas. That's where we're at right now. We're at more sealed wax appreciation and purchasing, but there's not anything that's really outselling its retail price right now that's new. Maybe a little bit, but not a lot of it. Not like we were used to, where you get double, triple of a retail, plus the retail box is more expensive, which has really cut me out. I haven't even bought any Topps Chrome or Topps Update baseball, because I'm not paying $35 a box for some, or even $30. That's a $20 product. Like, you've done nothing to make me think otherwise. I've gotten in some breaks, but that's because of logo fractor boxes, because I like the logo fractor look. Really haven't hit anything, but, you know, I'd rather go after something like that than spend $250 on a box and not really care about that I'm pulling really anything great. I just can't do it anymore. It's to the point now I'm chasing older wax to open up, and I'll start opening some of that up on stream and or video, just to give you an idea of what you can still pull. It's very nostalgic, especially for somebody my age, to go back at cards that when I was buying individual packs and only could buy, you know, one or two, never get to open a full box because at that point didn't have any money, and get to enjoy it now and kind of relive that, and, you know, see the old Hall of Famers you can pull and stuff like that. There's still opportunity in that stuff. You can still grade that stuff, but everything's coming down. You know, if the show tables don't go down in price, the vendors aren't going to show up. If there's no vendors at the show, the participants to the show are not going to show up. You know, like for instance, this weekend I was going to go to a toy show at the fairgrounds here in Tampa. It was, I think, $15 to get in, $10 to park. So $25 for me to walk into the show. Unacceptable. You know, the Clearwater show is the only one that requires a $5 payment to get in the door. And outside of doing videos, I probably wouldn't go to that show right now to have to pay $5 to get into something. Just because if people aren't going to start coming off their prices, because everybody's into a lot of stuff for a lot of money. All right, very few people have new inventory at new pricing. So therefore, they're trying to get as much as they can for the old stuff, even if it's break even. The thing is, I don't know their break even price, and everybody thinks all this stuff's going to go back up, and it's not. That's the other thing you got to remember. All this stuff is not going up. There are key things that over time will, yes, go back up, but it's not going up next year. It's not going up 2 years from now, not to that same price point. Absolutely no way. There's going to be one or two type guys. Yes. Everything else, no. I don't see it happening. I can't see it happening. There's no data right now showing that. But again, I think January, February is going to be our really big tell for the market and how the hobby goes, because all our really high-end product or really nice stuff, for the most part, won't come out, especially football-wise, won't come out until after the season's over. So that's also horrible for us as well, because the things you want to chase, the things that you can create, other things going up, because the top tier card goes up and all the little ones trickle up at the same time, aren't going to be available, and they're going to be at a dead part of the hobby. So the hobby needs to fix that itself. I know there's manufacturing issues, blah, 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 but at some point maybe just do a cycle where maybe this product to release once every other year, which would be interesting because I've never seen them really do that. I've seen them cut product and jump back in later. I really don't know right now. It's just very stagnant. Still rare, nicer cards still fetch good money. That's always going to be that thing. But I think eye appeal is becoming a very big deal. True game use is becoming a very big deal. On cards been a big deal for a while, even though there's some older stuff that's still technically on a sticker that I like more than today's stickers. And just the way the card was designed and the appeal of it's a little bit different. But that's where I'm at, you know. Wanted to get a little video, a little content out there and get ready to hit work here. I got a very busy week, and hope everybody stays safe. And let me know what's going on there in your neck of the woods. All right, guys, take care. All right, got a package in today. I have a couple redemptions out at Panini. Things that are 6 months or older. I'm not sure my address, but I'm going to flip this over and open it up and see what it is. I did have a National Treasures RPA due. So let's see what we end up with here. Upside down, turn the thing down, flip it in, reverse it. And it is another package in a package. Thank you for the free shipping box. Okay, so it's a thick card, so that feels like it's probably going to be RPA. The RPA was for Rashad Bateman. See which way we're going. Yep, so we're going to flip it around. It is the Rashad Bateman. This should be an RPA. And boom. Well, that's a big old chunky piece of patch sticking there. 4 of 49 Rashad Bateman National Treasures. Been waiting for this for quite a while. Hit this in a break. It took quite a while to get here though. But super cool. Great to have it finally. Nice and chunky patch. I mean, we got a lot of breaks in this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4 colors technically. Let's say 1, 2, 3 colors, but 1, 2, 3, 4 breaks. Lots of stitching. Super cool. Alright, well, Panini Redemption. I think it was like 7 months in. This is one of those ones I was getting ready to be like, okay, just send me something else. But lately that's been really dangerous, so kind of glad I got it. This is really the nicest RPA out of National Treasures I've hit. I never got to open a box, obviously, but I've been in plenty of breaks. I've hit some other autos, but not in any of the big rookie ones. But, alright guys, here you go.